when I started thinking about this beautiful idea of Viksit Bharat, the Prime Minister and the rest of his team has given that vision to the nation, which is a beautiful vision, and I have no doubt in my mind. Corruption is rife, the crime is rife, and a whole lot of other things which are happening. Hardly find anybody following the law if they can afford not to. I increase that amount of 55%, so I make more profit. And then whatever is the 45, the government will take. Rather than dropping up the idea of not doing the business, no point why 45 they are taking. No, you work hard to make your 55% big enough. You can waste your life worrying about government, worrying about this, worrying about the inflation, this, that, and the other. And this is where I think the difference is. People that I am talking about, I'm using this term, Sthitpragya. But the people who are evolved like that, they think differently. They see opportunity in every situation. Any calamity they see. Other people will quickly give up. Nobody talks to me properly. So, you talk to them properly. If they not talk to you properly. But why you stop going to work? Because somebody is not talking to you properly. That's their problem. Why are you worried about them?
नमस्ते अनुपम जी।
नमस्ते नमस्ते अर्पित, कैसे हैं
थैंक यू। मैं बहुत बढ़िया हूँ अनुपम जी, आप कैसे हैं?
बहुत बढ़िया।
थैंक यू फॉर मेकिंग दिस हैपन अगेन एंड
thank you.
आज आई वांट टू टॉक अबाउट द स्पेशल बुक दैट्स कमिंग आउट वेरी सून, स्थित प्रज्ञा द फाउंडेशन ऑफ डेवलप्ड इंडिया।
Yeah.
So it's going to be out very soon. So I have read a little bit of it, but of course I have to still go through the whole book again.
Okay.
So this episode I want to talk to you about, this, because this is a lot different from other books. Other books were self-realization, technology for joy, very individual perspective. Here we have zoomed out and we are talking about the whole nation in general.
Yeah.
Right? India as a nation. So what brought about this change? And
No, there's no change. Obviously, even if you read my other books, though they are focusing mainly on the context, the spiritual, adhyatmic context into it.
yeah,
But I consider, when somebody asks me what is your genre, what you write about, so I write on applied spirituality. So I'm not writing, but I don't think there's anything I can write more than what is already written. So my intention has always been to bring the essence out and present it in a manner that young people can understand. So application of the wisdom and how do you do it in modern context is what I consider my genre is. So
Okay.
that's how I write. So this idea, obviously there must be some background, some discussion that I was having, and one of the when I started thinking about this beautiful idea of Viksit Bharat, and the Prime Minister and the rest of his team has given that vision to the nation, which is a beautiful vision, and I have no doubt in my mind that it's not going to happen. It will happen. It might happen much before 47. That's no doubt in my mind with the current way of things, the things going in the country. My only concern is who this Viksit Bharat is going to be left with
okay,
beyond this current generation of people who have visioned it and are going to take it to that point. What beyond it? So that was a thought.
okay,
So obviously it is the citizens who hold their nation and they keep it, develop it, do whatever they do with it. So when you start looking into the kind of citizens that are being produced, that we have touched upon and looked at various nature and character of people today, corruption is rife, the crime is rife, and a whole lot of other things which are happening. And you hardly find anybody following the law if they can afford not to. So there is people are abiding by systems and law only when there is an external regulation. In the absence of regulation, people just fall back into their natural state of being corrupt.
right,
And when I started thinking why that is the case, because everybody talking, we should do this, we should have this law, we should have that law. You can bring whatever you want to bring, and there's no depth. There's a whole lot of laws and things. The people who are supposed to implement law are corrupt themselves. So what hope do you have? So we can think of all these external regulations or controls to manage, but that's not how a country should be managed. There is a need and purpose for external regulations, the force, police, and all that stuff. But can you maintain the Viksit Bharat with the current lot of citizens? That's what my point is. So when I started thinking into it, I realized that our education system, unfortunately, we are making Babington Macaulay. Have you heard of this name? He was an English officer in 1935. He brought a paper, education policy, and his idea, his theory was that unless you break the culture and the education and the language of India, they wouldn't be able to control it. So he not only disrupted, he dismantled Gurukul system, not directly, but by virtue of not supporting that system. And it was replaced by modern education that we see today. So idea of his education was to produce servants who can follow commands, who can't think for themselves, and destroy the language and the culture so that they can cut them from their past. So they don't know who they are. And that's what we have very successfully followed him and made him win. And the sad part is even 70, 80, 75, 80 years of independence, when we were in control and charge, we still changed anything. We still keep giving that dry education to our kids and making them wage earners. So I don't think there can be much hope from wage earners to hold Viksit Bharat intact. And I've used an analogy which explains it. What I'm trying to say here is that Viksit Bharat would be like a wooden mansion, beautifully carved mansion, built on a ground which is infested by termites. What hope can you have for that mansion to last for how long?
Yeah, maybe for a few years and then
collapse. And then I started, because I'm a social worker. So when I look at a situation or a problem situation or a concern or what have you, my mind starts to work as to what is the diagnosis of it and what can be done, what should be done. So when I look at the education system that we have in place, though I know that new education policy has been implemented, some new amazingly brilliant ideas are being introduced into the education system to help young people to know their past and Sanatha, Sankriti, to put them in touch with it so that they can feel sense of pride and what have you. But just by informing people, you cannot build their personality. You can't carve out their personality. So anyway, cutting the long story short, I'll tell you right now, education assessment system is assessing your IQ, isn't it?
Yeah.
Does it do anything else? Just IQ.
Memory for that.
Memory, IQ, whatever you call it. And there is no other input. It may be indirect or by accident, people are developing morals and becoming resilient, this, that, and the other. But it's not a systematic, thought through strategy to bring those elements into people's personality, student personality. In my view, a person must have a very good degree of emotional resilience in them.
Okay.
Because that is what makes them stand firm in the adverse circumstances.
Okay.
And they remain firm without getting overburdened by their emotional turmoils. And they manage them well. So they manage situation. So they become resilient.
I get it. Yeah.
And next element is the moral compass. It is that moral compass which makes them say no to unlawful things.
Right. So what you're talking about is in a layman's term that would be called as inner maturity, right?
Yeah.
But when you talk about developed nations, we talk about smart cities, we talk about infrastructure, and economists would differ on this because what we call as developed nations right now, inner maturity and these things are nowhere to be seen over
No,
there.
that's fine. I mean, I'm not in disagreement with them.
Mm-hmm.
That is economics view of world view.
Hmm.
For them, GDP and whatever first economy, this much balance, that much, all that economic parameters. Yes, these are all indicators of a development nation. I have no doubt. I have no problem with it.
Hmm.
That's what actually these are the manifestation of a development nation.
Hmm.
I'm not questioning it. I'm not challenging. I'm not saying anything. I have no issue with it.
Hmm.
I'm rather glad and happy that at least after 75 years somebody thought of it,
Hmm.
that we can progress that quick and fast.
Yeah.
So I have no issue with it. My issue is how would that be retained?
Hmm.
So it's like you produce something and then it is eaten up by someone
Hmm.
corruptly, immorally. So if we don't have citizens, because what is a nation? Nation is not just land or buildings or escape rivers or bullet trains. That's not nation. Nation is the people in it. And are we preparing, are we producing people?
No, but a developed nation is a nation with resources
Yeah. For resources for who?
for the people.
Yeah. So this consumer of resources
Hmm.
should be consuming ethically, isn't it?
Hmm.
How would they do it?
So that
So abhi bhi-
them being ethical can be governed by the people.
No,
in
you
the
can't govern. You can't govern ethics of people. You can put them under control so that they don't behave ethically so long as they are monitored.
Hmm.
The point is, can a nation, can a country keep on monitoring their citizens all the time?
Hmm.
What makes a judge be so corrupt that he's passing his judgments for money? So is that judgment? Is that developed nation? Is that the feature of a developed nation?
No.
Politicians using their power to extract money out of the coffer.
Hmm.
Is that the definition of a developed nation? Should that be a definition of a developed nation?
No.
Can we continue to have this kind of features along with that glossy nation that we are building?
Hmm.
So I think it's not this or that. It is this and this as well. You can't build a mansion or a palace without a foundation to it. You can. It's not that you can't build it, but it will collapse. That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
All big economies are collapsing now. Look at Europe.
Yeah.
Look at America. It's on the way.
Yeah.
Now, right now, it is the most rich country.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it is on the, it's already taken a dive.
Hmm. Hmm.
So it's not, I'm not saying, so if you have to sustain development nation, that's what I'm talking about.
Hmm.
That will be sustained and further grown by people who are Sthitpragya, in my view. That's the term I'm used in this book, which is a person who remains steadfast in the adversities and is not tempted by any inducements or temptations. Very highly unlikely for him to be corrupt.
Hmm.
And turning somebody to that is not a very difficult thing to do. It's not very impossible. I think major shift in education system has already taken place. All I'm introducing in my book, an idea, is a very subtle idea. That if in addition to all the introductions that we have introduced into the new education policy, can we introduce an assessment system which not only checks IQ, but also assesses EQ, which is emotional quotient, and the MQ, which is moral quotient. So if these three are equally weighted, 40, 30, 30, or 33, 33, 30, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So when these two elements become essential for somebody to pass the exam, my thought process is the entire society will start to reorganize itself around this assessment criteria. Parents will become active in helping their children to become resilient. They will become active to inbuilt and inculcate morals. Schools will start to find ways and means and innovative ideas how we can do it. Society will start to change slowly, gradually. And if we introduce this idea where academic is not left out, it is emphasized, but given equal weightage to emotional quotient. So IQ, EQ, MQ, these are the three components of your academic performance. So you become emotionally resilient and you have a value-based person. You have your own personality. You know what your morals are. And you are holding it very high and you're not going to compromise with your morals.
Sure.
So if you have a moral foundation, then you are not somebody who will be sold very cheaply or you will be sold at all.
Yeah.
And we see people around us. Why people say that nobody can bribe Prime Minister Modi? Nobody can buy him. Why? Why other people are being bought and sold? Why can't he be bought? So it means, I'm not talking about some pie in the sky idea. It's a very real ideas. And we see these people. There are millions of people like that. But there are few in numbers in the broader scheme of things. All we'll have to do is increase the number of these people who are honest and hardworking, resilient, so that the corrupt, because they'll always be corrupt. There were people corrupt in Ramaraj. There were people corrupt in old India. So there were people corrupt, while we still have this kind of a man-making going on. But if these honest people are larger in number, they will be isolated. They wouldn't be effective. They would be, I'm not saying we will be clean. Society. No, we never have clean society. There would be jails will be required, police will be required, everything will be required, because some people still fall off the track.
What does this assessment looks like, Anupamji, and how
assessment is like, obviously it will be some theory aspect. So you introduce morals through literature, storytelling, what have you, stories from all religions, because these are religion-free assessment criteria. Because emotional religion is not a property of a religion, particular sect. Emotions are a human quality. So, but there are stories from all sides that you can incorporate to show, what does somebody who is emotionally resilient behaves and does and what have you. Plus, then you give them scenarios and activities and what have you. Young people, you take them to, have some camps in the rural areas, expose them to poverty, expose them to a whole lot of other things, and then, see how they handle it. Emotion, give them scenarios and situations that how do you manage your emotion when you have been challenged and insulted in front of public, how do you hold them? So because there are so many people with a lot of imaginary ideas, so much that is not my problem, how and what input will be given. All I'm giving a broader idea, because if you say we have to assess, we have to come up with a criteria, which is not a rocket science. What is emotional resilience look like? And how do you mark it? That we can do. These are the values. And we give input into those values. And then you don't have to do kind of an academic test on it. You have to do, young people have to demonstrate through their behavior. And there could be various ways and means that could be, used to assess their resilience and their moral compass. It's like, what would you do if you find one day that your father had taken a bribe? What would you do?
What would I think about
No,
that?
I'm not. I'm just asking the young person. So how would you handle the situation? What would be their response? Is morality higher or relation higher? So that is a dilemma that we face in our day-to-day life. So I am going to cover up the crime of my family if I'm a judge or a police officer. But if somebody else, I will just hold them with the neck. Grab them. How did you commit a crime? If the same crime is committed to my brother, I would have a different take. Why should you have a different take? Honesty is your policy, or your policy is who is honest? So that is a dilemma. So these are the kind of, value insertion into kids when they're small. and giving them, like, if not from first class first, at least from 6 to 12th. If we use these 6 years to build those, infuse those value systems in them, give them those morality, and make them emotionally resilient, so 6, 7, 8 generation of students, they will start seeping into system. They will become bureaucrats, they will become IAS officers, they will become police officers, they will become a whole lot of other, and politicians, what have you. So as we carry on, the system will clean itself. But that's the idea. So I'm making a proposal in my book. I don't know what happens, whether this idea reaches the right people or not, but I'm trying my level best to reach out to Prime Minister, if I may.
For sure. And I think Sthitpragya, if we put it into simple English, that would be steady wisdom, right? And there was a mention of this in Bhagavad Gita, of course, right? Krishna talks about this with Arjuna and steady wisdom. But that's a philosophical concept, if I may just call it that. It's a philosophical concept based in an ancient war that was happening within the family. And how can we use the same concept in a 21st century where people are seeing globalization, inequality based on races, caste? It's a totally different situation. So how do we
These
implement?
today's wars are far more complex than the war Arjuna was fighting. That was a straightforward war between two armies. You still needed, he was still advised to be establishing the knowledge of the self at that time. Now, when wars are so complex and you don't even know who the enemies are, I think the demand and the call is much desperate in today's world than it was in that time. Sthitpragya, you're right. It comes in chapter 2. So before verse 53 or 54, Krishna is explaining to Arjuna who is Sthitpragya. So he's asking the question, what does this person look like? What does this person talk? What does this person walk? So he's explaining, he says, no, he's an ordinary person. In the marketplace, you would not recognize him if you meet him. Only way you meet, you know that he's a Sthitpragya through the aura that he emits. So Sthitpragya is a person who is studied, is study in his wisdom of the self. He knows who he is. He does not get affected by the dualities of experiences. He remains firm.
The rag and the dvesh that we spoke
He is
about
not
earlier.
affected by it. It does not get influenced or lured by the beauty of the world, or he does not get fazed by the ugliness of the world. He remains firm and steady. His energy is not wasted. He's full of energy, mental energy. And whatever he does, he performs to the best of his ability. He does not work for inducement. He does not work for profit or praise or rewards. He works for the sake of working. That's what I'm talking about. That's the kind of personalities we need to work towards building. Otherwise, you keep passing laws and have armies and police and military everywhere, in every office, every corridor of power. How can you manage
What
it?
does this mean in a real life context? Working for the sake of working and not for the profits. And
Because
let's say let's
no,
take an example of a businessman who works in, let's say, oil and gas, or me as a marketer, right? I do that. So like, why? What should I be thinking of it as? Working for working and not for the profits.
When I say not working for profit, that is not your motivation. That is something that will come to you anyway. Like I said before in my previous podcast, that why are you chasing something that which should chase you? The profit should chase you. Why? Because the quality of product, petroleum products that you produce are far superior in quality, and the benefit that you get out of it, more people will buy it. Rather than trying to sell cheap goods, one-off items to fool people to extract profit out of them. So when I say you're not working for money, it's not that you're not getting paid or you're not earning profit. That will come anyway. Why have to waste my energy into it? Why can't I focus my energy producing the best product, the best quality products? And the reason I'm doing it so that my consumers enjoy that product and they benefit out of it. When I can have a large customer base which long for my products, do I have to worry about profit?
Not really, no.
Not really. So it's a shift in perspective rather than short-termism, using negative means, criminal means of cheating people, fooling people, ripping them off, robbing them, cutting their throat. You just do your best. That's what it is. That's the difference. And it's not rocket science, as I keep saying it. It's not. You change your assessment criteria at a school level. You start giving those, building that moral compass in young people and make them emotionally resilient, and you will have Sthitpragya walking the streets. Sthitpragya does not mean he will wear a mukut with a more punk on it.
Can if he chooses to.
He can if he chooses to. Then mental health people will chase him. You know what I'm talking?
Yeah, of course.
The people who are evolved within themselves, they know who they really are. They're not confused whatsoever. They're not chasing the illusions of Anand or illusions of happiness. Money and fame and power, they're all illusions that we are. So that's the three things everybody chasing after. Combination of them. Power, fame, and money. Somebody is chasing after money because they think these two will follow it. Somebody is chasing fame because they think they can get these two. Somebody is into power because they think they can get these once they have power. So these are the three main motivations, and these are the motivation drop for that person because he's not working for these three. So it does not mean he does not profit. He will make 10 times more profit than a crooked businessman. So it is basically a far profitable proposition to be that way than otherwise. My attitude, I'll tell you, my attitude in my business, people use, oh, bloody hell, 45% income tax. What is left for you? I said, listen, 45%, 50% or whatever percent, that is not in my control. So why should I waste my energy on it?
The profits, the 40%?
Income tax on my business, corporate in England was 45%.
Yeah.
So everybody is worried about it, and they were sharing their worry with me. Bloody, there's no point doing the business. I said, no, that is something is not in my control. I can't alter it. I can't change it. Why should I waste my money? I think whatever 55 is left, I'll have to how can fatten it up. I increase that amount of 55%.
Correct.
So I make more profit, and then whatever is the 45, the government will take. Rather than dropping up the idea of not doing the business, no point why 45 they are taking.
Right.
No, you work hard to make your 55% big enough.
Yeah.
So the amount.
There's juice in this gossip, no? You kind of, hey, what is this government? And
what is it? Yeah, you can waste your life.
Yeah.
Worrying about government, worrying about this, worrying about the inflation, this, that, and the other. And this is where I think the difference is. People that I am talking about, I'm using this term, Sthitpragya, but that the people who are evolved like that, they think differently. They see opportunity in every situation, any calamity they see. Other people will quickly give up. Nobody talks to me properly. So you talk to them properly if they don't talk to you properly. But why you stop going to work? Because somebody is not talking to you properly. That's their problem. Why are you worried about them? But that's the attitude, isn't it? We give up so quickly in every little situation, every little adversity, every little challenge. We are willing to drop and give up. People keep hopping the jobs. Why?
Yeah.
It's very uncomfortable in that environment. Well, wherever you go, you will find it uncomfortable because uncomfort is not because of the company. It's because of you. That's your mind. That's how it works. It's seeking comfort outside.
That's true, Anupamji. To an extent, it's true. But now, when the title of the book says the foundation of a developed nation, and we are specifically talking about India, which is infested with corruption, the politicians are corrupt, the businessmen are looting the taxes and this thing. So aren't we putting the blame on individuals for the systematic failures?
No, but if you think what is a nation? Collection of people, isn't it?
Hmm.
140 for India. But that this collectivity, at the end of the day, the unit of that collectivity is the individual, isn't it?
Hmm.
So change must come from within, from each individual. If I change, it would have no effect.
People were changing, no? So the people in the top of the hierarchy, they were moving out of the nation, which we called as brain drain.
Yeah.
They were moving to developed nations because they
See,
saw that nothing is for me. I'm going to live for 50 years.
listen, you talk about any challenge, any problem our country is facing, it boils down to the same problem, education system that we have. It is producing wage earners. So wage earners will go where the wages.
Hmm.
So why are we crying? We are producing wage earners. Now wage earner is choosing and deciding where to go to earn wage. He's got no damn concern about India or his family or his society or his community. He'd give a damn. He will go where he's got more money. So why are we complaining? So you're producing wage earners. So wage earners are busy making, earning wage, multiplying it as fast, as quickly as I can do it. Isn't it? So why are we complaining? Well, that's what we have taught them to do. We are not teaching morality. We're not telling them how to manage their emotions, so they quickly become tempted by somebody who is doing well in life. So I must also do it. I can't do it through proper means, so I'll do it from improper means. Whatever means available to me. So why I'm complaining? So that's what I'm saying. That is the core. So you change the core, the whole changes itself. And that's where we need to hit. You can't keep you can't informing people. And just by informing, you expect that things will change. This hallelujah attitude is fine. Now people are now claiming I'm Hindu. And we have talked about in one of our podcasts what Hindu they are. I'm not saying, they are emotional responses to being Hindu. I'm Hindu because I want to hit that other person who is other person is doing this to me. So these are all kind of social responses and reactions to it. So if you say you are Hindu, I'm saying just be Hindu. I'm not saying anything other than that. And that's what our Gita is talking about. That's what our scriptures are talking about. That's what they're hoping and aspiring for you to become. So you don't want to become that and still want to claim to be Hindu. Why? How would you be Hindu when you don't follow your scriptures? So now I think the environment is ripe, environment is conducive. Governments are conducive. And these changes can be easily incorporated. And I'm not asking about huge changes. I'm not trying to change education. You change whatever you have changed. I'm simply saying whatever you're teaching children, assess them on these three blobs. IQ, EQ, MQ. This system, if carries on for next 10, 15 years, the entire society and the nation will automatically change. All these problems that we keep complaining about, corruption, this, that, the other, people have no concern about the country. They're leaving the country after their IITs and medicine degrees. So country spends money and they fly off.
But you're going this route where, let's say, an IAS officer who's directly serving in the government, where corruption, bribe is, an incentive, where it makes you move in the, it makes
Right
you move
posting.
up the hierarchy, yes. So it's praised and it's appreciated. So would not doing that would marginalize their growth, right?
Right now, you're talking about immediate impact. Right now, we don't have Sthitpragyas in the system. I'm saying producing them. Slowly, gradually, these well-balanced individuals will start to place themselves in the system. They will penetrate the system and the so-called corrupt people will phase out of the system through retirements and what have you. But if we start putting the foundation stone now, changing the mindset of people, these people not only would be able to handle the situation in the present time, but as their number grows, they will get a lot more social support and encouragement for each other not to be corrupt. Right now, people are corrupt and it's a sign of intelligence. If you are corrupt, see how I'm fooling the system, how I'm doing this.
Yeah.
And they take pride. And they are the people who are honored in society. Television channels will call them and have their interview. They're putting mic on there. I should ask the first question: did you pay your tax this year? How much did you pay? And how much you didn't pay? That's the first question you should ask. But they're talking about your son's wedding of a businessman. Who is interested in your son's wedding? But what good are you doing to the society? Are you paying your dues or tax or not? Or what techniques you are applying to siphon away your tax, or taking your wealth abroad to save money? So that's what people do. So
I would somewhere say they're not wrong also. When you pay
no,
taxes here,
in the
the
current
roads are-
system, you're not. In the current system, when you see other people are corrupt and taking my money,
you're
if
paying-
politicians are siphoning away crores of rupees of the tax money, what is the motivation for you and me to pay tax?
Yeah.
Why
No,
should
no,
I pay
at least
tax?
abroad, when you pay taxes, you clearly see the results
Huh.
of those.
And we see the result as well. Obviously, lot more now. You
Roads
see the
and
how country is growing.
After
How
every toll that you cross, you keep paying money for that service, and
that's
you look
fine.
at the situation of those roads.
Huh.
Every 100, like
Exactly.
10
So
kilometers, you have to pay the
there's
tax.
somebody who is responsible for maintaining the road. Should be maintaining the road, but he's not maintaining the road because he has oiled the wheels. So he can't be pulled out.
Yeah.
So why can't we pulled out? Why can't we have values and standards set in place that you are building this road, and every time we have the quality of the road deteriorates, you will be fined for it. So you should use the technology to have 5-year, 10-year guarantee on the quality of the road. But somebody should be doing it. If you are caught paying the bribe, you will be released by paying the bribe.
Yeah.
So system who should be maintaining the law and order, you can't be fully trusting it. This is a very common experience. Even chota sa, constable on the roadside is standing and looking at you. The moment you take the turn, he holds you.
I get it, Anupamji, but this is affecting the people now, and the policy change. When people say, okay, inner development is good, that should happen, but we want the policy change now, and we can't wait 50 years for individuals to change. We want the policy change right now.
I'm saying I should incorporate this system as a matter of a policy. Don't leave it for individuals to change themselves, because they would have no motivation to change. Why should they change? If they had to change, they would have changed it. If people have still acquired certain personal strengths in their personality, that is not by virtue of the system. It's a virtue of the environment they have been brought into, raised into. Their parents, their family, their society, whatever environment they lived in, they have inbuilt those values by themselves. But they're very far and few. So those people, I'm not saying there are no honest people. There are a lot of honest people. Majority of people are honest. But people sitting and managing the systems, that's what we are talking about. People can argue, emotional discussion. No. I was talking to somebody, he said, no, I know most of the people are honest. That's why this country is still surviving. But you can't argue against the point that there are no corruption. Every day new news. Hardly any day will pass where there is no news about corruptions, high-level corruptions.
Yeah. And
So
it keeps getting worse.
it
not
keeps
that-
getting worse. More people are being caught. Why? Because the system is oiled now. EDs and CBIs and whole lot of these institutions are actively working, and they're so busy they can't manage all the cases. So many corrupt people are being found,
Yeah.
and this is when people know that people sitting on the top cannot be lured. They are not corrupt. They are honest, and they are going to chase after you. Still, people are doing it. Why? Because they're internally corrupt. They corrupt in their constitution. Their constitution is corrupt. And that constitution has to be altered. If you alter their inner personality,
Right.
that will manifest in their behavior, in their conduct, in their being as such. And that is what this book is making reference to. So I'm not asking you to introduce this or teach Gita or teach whatever, Quran or what have you. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying whatever you do in a school system, we need to assess people. And when you, my core view is the moment you make these essential criteria of assessment, you don't have to do much. Parents will start chasing their kids. Parents will start finding ways. So foreign magazines in their drawing room will be replaced by Amar Katha. Champaks of the word, Kalyans of the word, these kind of moral stories. So that's what will be sitting on the people's drawing rooms automatically. Schools will become innovative and find ways of introducing moral and this and that. They will do it themselves. All you have to do is provide a framework. Okay, these are the moralities, these are the resilience criteria that we are looking for. People are very intelligent, very smart. They will come out with so innovative ways of doing it. And college, universities, and I'm also suggesting that you even go to the selection criteria of people into jobs. Select people with these three parameters. Why you just want a theoretical person coming to you? You want somebody who can withstand challenges, fight for the company, and make company profit. And you can leave the keys with this person and nothing will go. You can trust that person because he's got morality. He's got integrity. Don't you think it is a beneficial?
Yeah.
In generally. Anyway.
Great. Thanks again for the amazing insights, Anupamji. So we'll just wrap up on this note, and I would want you to share with the listeners where they can find this book. And
well, this book is available both on Amazon and Flipkart. So as I was told, there are a few other platforms which they have published this book, but I think the Amazon is the easiest and the Flipkart is the easiest. So it is in paperback and hardback, and it is both in Hindi and English.
Amazing.
So I've done Hindi translation this time, and I think I've got all my books translated in Hindi. And from now on, all the future books which I'm working on, they will be in both languages to start with.
Very cool. Even the previous ones you're going to be...
Previous ones I've got converted into... I converted it myself. I translated it.
Right.
And so they are being printed right now as I speak.
Okay.
2 more books are being printed. So just for the sake of... I've got a commentary on Hanuman Chalisa. That would be a very interesting book for people to read, because everybody reads and chants Hanuman Chalisa.
Yeah.
So that book actually explains the wisdom contained in each chopai. And what does it mean and how does it relate to our day-to-day life.
Very cool.
And then the other book which is coming is called Man, Mind and Meditation.
Okay.
That is a book on Ashtanga Yoga. So there again I'm explaining Ashtanga Yoga. What does it mean and how that could be applied in our modern day life.
Amazing. Okay.
Like Satya, Ahimsa, how do you apply in your day-to-day corporate life, for example? How does it translate into your life that we live today? So I see this is one of the things people, when they think about religion or spiritual practice, they imagine straight away the rishi sitting on his asana.
Yeah.
And
that
cows.
is the branding of this till now.
And then they think they have to be, no, you do what you do, however your lifestyle, because we have to practice in our current environment. So this is how I write, is how do you apply Satya? What does Satya means? Everybody knows this word. But in psychological terms, what does it mean? How do you practice Satya? Ahimsa. And I have made these things very selfish. Because Ahimsa is not benefiting the other person who you don't hate.
Yeah.
Before you hate, you must be angry in your mind.
Correct.
So when you are angry, you are hurting yourself.
Correct.
So for your own sake, you should be ahimsak. Not for the other person.
True.
When you cool down and you have control over your anger, you are not going to be, inflicting hinsa on other people.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I just turned it that way, that all these values that Ashtanga Yoga talks about, I turned it on its head. I say it's for your benefit.
Yeah.
So don't do any benefit for the society. Look after yourself.
Correct.
By being truthful, by being ahimsak, by being, whatever values there are. It is for your sake, not for the public. So wait for the next few books, then we'll talk about it as well.
Looking forward to it, Anupamji.
Thank you.
so much.
Namaste.
See you in the
Namaste.
next one.
See you in the next one.